I will follow him.
Follow him wherever he may go. There isn't an ocean too deep, a mountain.
Welcome to the Bushwick Bears podcast.
We almost
did it.
that.
That's a great song.
I don't know that song.
And where he goes, I'll follow. You seen Sister Act?
Yeah.
From now until forever. All right, we got two intro songs. A little.
Welcome, Bushwick Bears podcast. My name is Jericho Davidson. Boris Hyken right here. Derek Humphrey.
We were gonna do a song. We were gonna make an actual song.
Make a theme song.
Make a theme song for the podcast.
We really followed through on that one, didn't we?
We still can.
But no, we still can. But I feel like this is just our thing.
It is going kind of well until someone.
Like this.
No one can sue us for singing a little piece of.
If
this
you listen
song.
to the podcast, you tweet at us, Instagram us, email us, whatever.
Request.
Put in a review. Just now, you can make a request for a song, or you could just give us your honest feedback and be like, you guys should make a song. I don't know. Who cares?
It'll be fun. It'll be fun regardless.
It would just be fun to make a song.
Or maybe somebody out there wants to make a theme song for us.
Oh.
That's a good idea.
That would be cool. It's not as if one of our members isn't a drummer in a band.
Like I said, I'll make. I think it'd be a funny video to make. The three of us can make a song really easily.
Yeah, well, like a really quick, 10-second little theme.
Easy. A little jingle, if you will.
Yeah.
We were talking about some regional delicacies from where Derek used to live.
Some Kakalaki.
Some whole hog barbecue. Some pulled whole hog.
I thought we were talking pussy still.
Wait, this was all a euphemism.
Heyo.
I'm originally from Tucson, Arizona. And it has some of the best food on the fucking planet in Tucson. And I'm so excited. I hope that's the only reason I don't want there to be a full shutdown is that when I'm there for the holidays I can eat some fucking tacos.
Yeah.
Get some birria and some fucking carne asada. Oh my goodness.
Well, you'll be quarantining most of the time anyway.
2 weeks, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, you got to quarantine while you're there.
Quarantine inside a taco truck?
Yeah, absolutely. That's where I plan on quarantining.
Remember who was it that said that? It was like, well, if we don't build a wall, there'll be a taco truck on every corner.
There was somebody that said
that sounds awesome.
And I was like, that sounds dope, man.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
If there's demand for it.
Yeah, I would love a taco truck in my neighborhood. I don't even have a good bodega in my neighborhood.
Yeah, that's you always got to find it. There's a lot of good food in Boris's neighborhood.
Yeah, there's a ton of good shit here.
There's not much of where I live either. There's one or two good places. My bodega sucks. I had to walk. I had a hankering for a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah.
And I had to walk 8 blocks because they're all none of them have pork.
Oh,
I'm not gonna have no turkey bacon or beef bacon.
I don't even know where I can get one of those off my stop.
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah, there might be a place. I mean, they're actually. I take that back. It's a couple blocks and it sounds minute, but they're long blocks. They're avenue blocks.
Yeah,
it's 3 blocks, and you're just kind of like
the Queens blocks.
Yeah, Queens blocks are bigger blocks.
That's what I've heard.
Big old blocks out in Queens.
The bodega right across the street from my house just started selling beer, and I was looking at the guys. I was like, oh, he's selling beer now. He's like, these are hard times, and we want to keep up. We gotta sell beer. I was like,
did they used to be religiously?
Yeah, they were originally against that. When I looked at him, I was like, well, what about pork? And he goes, no, we're not going that far. Damn.
Maybe in the 4th wave.
Yeah, if it keeps up how it is, they'll start making some bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches. That really is the regional New York food. This day and age, because I'm like
on a bagel.
Yeah. Oh, that's we all have specific. You know what my bacon, egg, and cheese order is?
What?
My perfect bacon, egg, and cheese: bacon, egg, cheese, hash brown, hot sauce
in the sandwich.
I
like that.
Hash brown in the sandwich, and then I like it on a Kaiser roll personally.
I like the hash brown move. Hollowed out poppy seed bagel.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I think that's what I go with.
I like the hollowed out move.
Yeah.
I'm a bougie ass bitch, so I actually
bougier
have,
than hollowed out poppy seed.
That's pretty
maybe
bougie.
Scooped out.
I
as they say.
have actually go turkey, egg,
And your breakfast sandwich.
pepper jack cheese, tomato,
Whoa, wilding out.
a small smear of
Schmear.
mayonnaise, a small
Man.
swipe of mayonnaise.
Shout out to the
seasoning
Jews.
Yeah.
on a brioche bun.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay, that's very
Yeah.
specific.
You know, if I switch the meat up, which I would often, I would do either pork roll. Love a
Okay.
good pork
Ooh,
roll,
yeah.
or Taylor
Jersey
ham.
coming
Taylor
in,
ham,
baby.
depending where you're from, or just breakfast sausage. I like a good breakfast sausage.
There used to be at this breakfast restaurant in Tucson, they had the heart attack sandwich, which I
Yeah.
always loved, which was ham, bacon, and sausage, egg, and cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, the fucking bagel place over on Bedford in Williamsburg. They had the hash brown in the sandwich too.
Somebody's gonna get hungry
Oh my
listening to
god,
this podcast.
I'm getting hungry
Oh,
eating
yeah.
it because it takes me back to when I used to drink, and I used to get up in the morning. I'd walk to the bagel place on the corner of South Fourth and Bedford, and I would get one of these amazing fucking bagel sandwiches. Had the hash
Yeah.
brown on the
The
inside.
hash brown, I love the hash brown inside.
I do that with my omelets too.
Oh,
If-
yeah?
like at a
Yeah.
diner omelet.
Ooh, love
That's
it.
how I test them if they're really good. I ask if they could do the hash browns on the inside of the omelet, and I'd say like 70% of the time they're like, yeah, no problem. Maybe they'll even be like, it's too much to put it all in, so we'll leave you some on the side too. I'm like, fantastic, I love you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But then the other 30% is it's just that look on their face where they're just like, I don't.
Yeah,
I can ask the chef. I don't.
Maybe.
I was like, all right, if I'm the first one and it's gonna fucking confuse everything in the
Well, that's
kitchen,
like-
don't worry about
That's
it.
like definitely like the New York thing, because pizza. Don't get me wrong. There's phenomenal pizza in New York, but you can get good pizza anywhere these days.
I don't know
Not
about that.
anywhere, but a lot of places have
Yeah.
good pizza. Like I've had Neapolitan style coal oven pizza in
Right.
other cities, and I've had the slices and like hot dogs. The New York hot dog thing, that's so old school. Like you don't even
Hot dogs you can get anywhere.
you
Yeah.
can get anywhere in hot dogs.
Yeah, Detroit has better hot dogs than New York.
You like the Conies? You like the Detroit
I
Conies?
do like the Conies, even though their name is bullshit ass fucking.
I love a Detroit Coney. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. You Lafayette or
What?
All American dog?
All American.
You go All American. All right, I'm a Lafayette guy. So Coney's is basically just a chili cheese dog. Not even chili cheese dog. It's a hot dog with chili, diced onions, and yellow mustard.
I'm down with that. I like that better than ketchup. I'm not really a ketchup guy.
I'm not a ketchup guy on a hot dog.
In
either.
Chicago, I went to, I can't remember the name of it. I wonder if they're still around, but they had like alligator. They had kangaroo, which was
Oh,
not
the
great. I did not like
No,
kangaroo.
kangaroo's not good. I had it in Malta.
Yeah, it had like a kind of weird smoked, but like overdone.
Super gamey.
Yeah, really tough.
I've had
chewy.
alligator sauce.
Alligator was good,
Yeah.
but kangaroo was not.
Never
kangaroo
had
was
kangaroo.
weird. What else did they? Dat Dog in New Orleans has all that shit.
Yeah, they have all that.
Fun little party spot.
I love animals so much, and like especially when they're on my plate. And I'd never want to see harm done to an animal, but then somebody's like, "There's duck on the menu." I'm like, "Awesome."
You know what? Here's a current events thing. Actually, they opened the first restaurant. I was just reading about this today in Israel. That's lab-grown meat. Would you fuck with that?
Interesting.
It is only chicken right now. They haven't figured out like a realistic steak or whatever yet.
Yeah.
But it's all the chicken is grown in a lab. I'm down with it.
It doesn't seem
No.
that different than what fast food does.
I think if
know?
you ate it a couple times
I
and
don't
you
eat
didn't
it.
notice
I don't
any
eat
difference.
Fast food though.
I try to stay away from fast food, but like I do think eventually I have no problem with eating animals. But I think eventually once we have the option to eat some shit that was grown without some stuff might even be worth farming still, but let's say there's something where like it's just not good to like
Yeah.
farm it and have it be taking up land and doing whatever the way that we do it, and we're able to just have a fucking like warehouse that
Why
grows the
not?
shit and it's nutritionally and taste wise you can't differentiate between the two. That's
I'm
the
all-
future.
yeah, I mean, I'm all
That's
for
got to
it.
be the future.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. That doesn't.
I'd rather Ted Kaczynski that whole system.
You will fly a building, fly a plane into that building.
Yeah, that's when we start to get like, I think it's just gross because like Elon Musk I like until he starts talking about, well, there's people you're gonna have to get like a chip put in your head, and they're like, well, what if I don't want to?
The
And it's like,
neural
well, you're
net.
never gonna be like, you're gonna get left behind or whatever. And it's like, well, Maybe I do want to get left behind.
Well, I mean,
then
you're
at that
42
point.
years old.
And
at
you
this
won't be the
point.
only one. Also, though, there's gonna.
Right.
I think that's what's gonna happen in the future. Is like we're gonna have all this crazy shit because you can't stop it, right? You can't stop it. There's gonna be enough people that are willing to connect to these neural nets. They're
Yeah.
gonna be like writing software and creating shit that's just like it's already hard for people to keep up in certain ways, right? This goes back to like the
For
Andrew
sure.
Yang shit we talk about. But then I think that there's gonna be tons of communities that are gonna start popping up, and it's already happening in a way that are like. Not like Luddites, but like against like they draw the line at certain aspects, and there's probably gonna be tons of different
I'm
cultures.
gonna be the Amish
yeah,
version of that.
So you're gonna just
Well,
Being
that's
Amish
what
in the
I'm saying.
future is gonna be like owning an apple.
an iPhone or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, I only want them tracking me with a thing I can throw out and put down, but not from the inside of my own skull. That's where.
This one young lady came by to walk our dog once,
Humble
and
brag.
she took a she took a Polaroid of the dog.
Our hired help came by the other day.
she took a,
She took a
She took a
Polaroid.
Polaroid of the dog.
She took a Polaroid of the dog, and I guess that's the thing that kids do now. The young kids do.
Yeah.
Is because it is permanent.
Well, it's kind of neat also, right? It's physical. Right, exactly. We
Yeah.
almost thought about getting Polaroids at our wedding, but it actually seemed like a big pain in the ass to try to get enough and whatever. But yeah, it's kind of like it's retro, but also people want to people are getting offline, you know? People are,
Yeah.
especially with COVID, I feel like people are learning to connect with people in front of them and realizing how valuable that is compared to the fake shit online and like
Yeah.
the antagonistic shit online. I think there's going to be so much more of that, and I think people, are you okay?
I was hungry. Sorry.
What are you storing in there?
Don't worry about
All right.
No, all that talk of bacon, egg, and cheese is
it.
got
Yeah.
him.
Well,
He just
I
has
think
a
it's
bacon, egg, and cheese under his jacket.
I think it's just depressing to be online through the pandemic. Like, I want to be. I mean, like, I guess we still need to put content out. As I wrestle with this every day through the pandemic, is like, we still need to put content out. We're gonna put this fucking podcast out. The only way we're gonna let people know about it if they haven't subscribed already, rated and reviewed,
and
is
sent it to 5 friends who hopefully will each send it to 5 more.
Yeah. And CC the Nigerian prince. and so it's like this perpetual cycle of like, oh, I need to be on there because I need to put stuff out there to remind people I'm still there.
Yeah.
And it's like, but like I stare at it all fucking day.
I think the key is, and I don't do this, so this is like do what I say, not as I do. But I think the key, if we're trying to use it in a professional way, would be to like, I'm going to do it between these hours. I'm
Right.
not going to like play with it on my phone in between those hours. I'm going to write down the tasks I need to accomplish on it. I accomplish those tasks on it. I'm not capable of doing. I don't have this self-control, and I'm not doing any of it. By the way, I just watched Social Dilemma. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Yeah.
I was not as impressed. Like, everybody's like, you got to see this shit. It's fucking crazy. And it was well done, but it's mostly kind of like just showing you basically social media is addictive.
Like common sense shit, right? It's all shit you already
Sort of, but in
No.
surprising ways of like how much work and how much technology is being put into use to stay a step ahead of you so that what you think you can do with sheer self-control, they make the argument that like you don't stand a chance. Basically, like your brain is meant for like, you know, being in the fucking jungle or in caves, and not to have this type of like supercomputer constantly creating content that's trying to lure you into whatever. Anyway, they spend a lot of time, like 90% of the movie, basically telling you this thing that you know, but in like maybe an interesting detail and then a little more, and then 10 minutes being like, and this is the solution. And they don't really explore it. They don't explore the bad effects that could be their solution is government regulation, basically. Or like I've heard the idea of like the government creating their own like a public option for social media of sorts. But their conclusion is just like government needs to regulate it. And I'm like, maybe that's the solution, maybe not. But you just spent like so long going over the problem in such a short amount of time going over the
weirdest
solution.
thing about social media and like the effects it has on the populace to me is that it's voluntary.
Right.
That, you know,
but that fear of missing out on something in society is so big. Like the FOMO is real.
No,
it's voluntary. I think it's just like everybody's got their own battles in life, and some people find it more difficult to like control their eating. Some people find it difficult to control their drinking. Social media is just one that, like, by nature of what it is, a good portion of society finds it difficult to control themselves. It's not everybody. I know people who fucking have kids and they're like, yeah, I don't fuck with that shit anymore. I got better things to do. I got a child to raise. And then I know people that like got better shit to do, and yet they're fucking staring at it, or they're even worse, involving their children in that shit.
So what are you're trying to say? You guys both, we all should have children.
No.
I
think there's fulfilling ways to live life offline. Yeah.
Guys, I want to adopt a child with the two of you.
Yeah.
It'll be the Bushwick Cub.
Yeah.
We'll be heroes. We'll be the only comedy group that's adopted a human child and raised it to be a super comedian.
We'll just treat it like the Russians or the Chinese treat athletes.
Right, exactly, dude. Hours a day they practice joke writing.
Yeah, it's the Dolph Lundgren of kids.
Oh, man.
From Rocky IV.
Yeah, it's the three of our sperm combined that was put in a lab.
It's me one dumb kid.
But sure is funny.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though too. I'm kind of like who. I saw everybody was dragging Tim Allen on Twitter.
Yeah.
For what?
Because he said
What could possibly?
What could he do?
Because he's conservative.
Yeah,
and Twitter's not the
It's
place.
called Last Man Standing. I've seen it.
I've never seen it, but Twitter's not the place for like a conservative comic.
I travel. I've been in hotels before.
Yeah.
It's the only place.
And so he wrote Karl Marx. He spelled the Karl wrong. Karl Marx.
Hilarious.
Communism. Wikipedia.
I saw that tweet, and it's
Right.
also like
You're faking up top.
I just didn't realize, like, I forgot about it, but I did see that tweet.
Yeah. But that okay, so anyway, so then I looked through at Tim Allen's fucking Twitter and the rest of it, and he's got 1 million followers. Now Tim Allen's rich as fuck.
Yeah.
Like he was getting $10 million an episode.
He's got that
for
home improvement money.
plus Buzz Lightyear,
Right.
and he's like something else too.
Back when he
That
was
Last Man Standing
employable.
show is
Last Man
still going, I
Standing,
think, yeah.
that's him.
Right, they canceled that because of political stuff,
then they
right?
brought
But it
it
had an
back,
audience, yeah.
Yeah, he's got at least $100 million.
Okay.
I'm sure laying around or whatever, and he's on Twitter getting like 270 retweets, and then probably getting mad about it. I'm like, you won. Like you won. You don't need to be on Twitter, Tim Allen. You don't need.
You don't need to fight the communists here.
Because if he's like, and this is not even to say it like I disagree with him. I think if you're like some kind of if, whatever your political spectrum is or whatever, if you're rich or if you just are you that sad that you need to go on Twitter and be like, oh, I wonder what these dumbass kids who haven't done nothing are.
I will say this. You know what I've noticed, especially with right-wing people on the internet? And this isn't all of them, but the ones that I see on my feed, there's also a comic who's a cop who posts right-wing shit all the time. And
It sounds hilarious.
no.
Oh.
And half of it is like conservative memes, and half of it's literally fake news. And I'm not the type to like throw that around, but it's just nonsense that if you Googled, it's like written in a photo so that you can't copy and paste it easily, so that you just share it.
Right.
But you could Google it and find out that it's false. But you know what? I see this guy posting it all. It's like, or like resharing a video of like some Antifa guy getting served or something, but it's like constantly it's constantly on his feed, and he's friends with comics, and a lot of them are like Jersey Road dogs, but then some of them are like comics he happened to meet elsewhere that are actually like willing to comment and try to argue with him. I have not seen him reply once. This guy does not live on Facebook. He goes on Facebook, shares some crazy shit onto the world, and literally moves on with his day. And I find it fucking hilarious.
It is funny
that he's not. No one's changing his mind because he's probably not even reading their like. I've never.
Right,
even people that agree with him, I've never seen him like a comment. I've never seen him respond to a comment. He just goes on, shares some shit that supports his like narrative of the world, that spreads the propaganda that he wants, and just moves on.
Right, and I admire those people as well because they just clearly don't care.
They're like,
and
here's
you
a
have
bunch
all
of
these
bullshit.
people who are like hyper online, who that's all they care about.
Right.
Me falling under that. As much as I try to stay off of it, I am hyper online because I have a desk job where I'm forced to stare at 2 fucking screens all day.
Right.
You know?
God forbid you did some writing.
I do writing. That's why
got something done.
That's why I book so much.
That's not writing. Writing emails to get booked isn't writing.
Anyways, no, you're right. No, I do. I try to. I don't like to write at home. I like to go to a cafe like any other little wannabe artist.
No, it's nice to be in an environment.
I wear my Antifa cap to a little Brooklyn coffee shop, and then I write dick jokes and pretend I'm changing the world.
But yeah, there's a happy medium. But there's nothing wrong with, aside from the fact that he's like spreading nonsense out into the world. But like, there's nothing wrong with having that relationship with Facebook and Twitter where it's like, this is not the real world. This is a bunch of bullshit. People can argue it if they want to. I'm going to go on once in a while and post whatever the fuck comes to mind. Who gives a shit? Because he's also like, he's got a job. He's not trying to like break out and get an opportunity from Comedy Central or somebody who, if they looked at his online presence for 5 seconds, would be like, we're not hiring this person.
Oh, man, yeah, because I had a person tell me in the voiceover industry that they like Facebook stalked me.
Yeah.
And then because I was talking with them and they're like, so you're a Comic-Con or whatever. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, I know. I read through your shit or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. That is how that works. That's right. And like, I don't have anything on my Facebook that's like.
But I don't even know if that's like a part of the professional experience with it.
No, because
or just the assistant happened to be like, oh, let's see who this Derek guy is.
Well, no, it's more I've gotten this now. It's more that like they don't want to sit there and you be a risk of the Nick Mullen story.
No, I don't.
Oh, Nick Mullen got cast in an IBM commercial.
Oh.
Super Bowl commercial.
Uh-huh.
Paid him $130,000.
Wow.
And then he went on Twitter and was like talking about
it
how
was Nick Mullen.
Yeah, it was like some making fun of Watson or some shit like that, and they took the money out of his account.
What?
Yep. And so my brother sent it to me, and it's a clip on YouTube.
That's crazy they didn't Google him first because he's super funny, but obviously he's gonna have
hilarious.
stuff they might not like on
yeah,
there.
yeah. And so that's what they want to avoid is that sort of stuff. Or they don't want all of a sudden a Seth Simons like character to come up and be like, Derek Humphrey said this word, whatever the context was in 2011, and therefore he's an evil person, take his money.
Yeah. It's so funny because when you first said that, I'm like, well, but you'd have to be famous like a Gilbert Gottfried. But you're right. Now there are people who will make sure for whatever reason to like take the time to be like, no, it doesn't matter who you are.
Right. Yeah. It's low hanging fruit.
You guys haven't scrubbed your Twitters and Facebooks?
Yeah, I
will
deleted
not. I stand by every tweet. Let it be known.
I mean, out of all of it, I deleted 2 tweets.
I delete stuff if I don't find it funny. I just haven't looked through. But if I happen to see something,
I believe in myself enough that I went through and scrubbed my Twitter.
I did not. And I believe in myself that much more. That despite it.
I watched one video of one social media guy who said every month to 3 months, he's like, I delete all my old tweets.
Brian, I'm not trying to be a social media guy, though.
No. But I mean, like, well, okay, he's a political pundit or whatever. But,
right.
He like has this like opinion thing or whatever, and he's got 300,000 followers, and he's like, I read some of his writing, I considered what he said, and it was basically just like, he's like, you're like being held accountable to thinking a thing that you thought maybe even in passing a few years ago.
Right.
You have new information, your opinion might change, you might be a completely different person, like.
Yeah, I agree with all that. For that reason, I don't want to bend at the knee to that shit. But I get it. I get why people would.
I mean, like, I don't give a fuck.
Oh.
Well, here's the thing is like, yeah, well, because I like say I were cast in something and Seth Simons did ruin it for me. How Shane Gillis handled it was great. But me, as a 42-year-old man, this being probably my last shot in the industry,
you would murder him.
I would murder him. I would choke. Yeah, I would kill him. And over what? And the guy doesn't know me. He could sit there and be like, well, one time Derek Humphrey tweeted out, like, there were years and years if I was like either in the Navy.
But you say faggot on this podcast, they'll find you for that.
Yeah, fine, whatever. But I'm saying contextually that he took it out of context with Shane Gillis. For years and years, I got called the N-word by a bunch of my black friends, whether it was playing basketball or at work at the liquor
Quit
store
bragging.
or whatever. No. It's in passing or whatever. And so I'll might tell it in a story. And so like, or whatever, I use it in context. And like, I used to do it all the time because it happened all the time. And like, but he's going to take that out of context and like try and use it against me. It's like, well, I'm not going to give you that opportunity.
I hate to tell you, but these days he could try to use it against you in context. I don't agree with it.
Oh, I don't. What? I'll show you. I mean, like, if it's, anyways, I'm smart. I'm a smart enough writer to write out what it is I'm thinking or saying or what's happening without it being racist.
Right, of course.
Yeah. And so, and that's.
But are you not racist enough?
No.
The only thing, I mean, it's so weird hearing you guys talk about this so in-depthly because all I really use social media for this day and age is just to find people I used to sleep with and jerk off on pictures of what they look like in 2012.
Oh, this guy needs a hobby.
I know.
He's home alone all day.
I stopped reading comments. There was a thing. Do you remember? This was years ago. What was her name? Natalie something. She's a comic. She was real pretty, not very funny, but she was like making fun of fat people.
Nicole Archer.
Nicole Archer, is that her name? Yeah.
No,
Nicole, it was Nicole Amir or Marge or something with the name.
Nicole Archer
Arbor. Nicole Arbor.
That's not a stand-up, right?
She's
That's
not
like
stand-up.
she
She's
got
like a user
famous.
person.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
she retweeted something I made making fun of her. It was like she's like good sport. She's like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But I was like, I made this video like as a fat person. This is how I feel about. I'm shaming fat shamers as a fat person. It was funny. It was cute. It was whatever. But it got a lot because she retweeted. Got a lot of attention.
Right.
Yeah.
And I started reading some of those comments, and people are so vicious that I'm like, mind you, I'm naked in this video, and she's and people are saying like, you're fat. You need to kill yourself. I hope you get diabetes and die, you fat piece of shit. And I was just like. I made a joke, and the person I made a joke about liked it and said it was funny. Who are you to tell me I need to die?
Right. Yeah.
Like, fuck you. So I was just like, I can't.
You removed it?
No, I just don't read comments.
Oh, okay. That's the healthy response.
Yeah, I'll still put my shit out there. I don't care.
Yeah.
I did a thing for a company, and they posted it, an advertisement. It was anti-bullying campaign. They posted it to Facebook.
It was a great video.
Bullying.
Oh, thank
I thought you said it was an anti-bowling campaign.
Anti-bullying campaign. And so they posted it to Facebook. So that's comment centric.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking through and I'm reading the comments to it. It was about how you shouldn't, if you're a big kid, you shouldn't maybe bully other kids, which is I feel that way. Right.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty shitty to do that. Like fight your.
Well, Doyle rules. I was trying to smack the mic out of your hand. I was trying to be funny and bully you. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Derek. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Well, you missed that one.
Obviously.
I'm just
like 90% of the ones you do take, but 10% is the difference.
I'll admit I'm high enough that I didn't catch on. But but anyways, and so all the comments would come from guys who have for the profile picture like Captain America, or like or even if it's just some Jim Bob trucker guy who's like, he's like, fuck that, like beat kids up, that's the way shit should go. The guy reading this is a fucking pussy. And I would just write back to them. I was like, I bet he is, or something like that. And then like have like a little interaction back and forth with them, because I'm like, I want one of you guys to just like, please, like try and talk your shit to somebody who probably could kick your ass.
I think it's not a good use of your time, but
I agree with you, it's not, and that's why I need to stop doing it. Well, I stopped doing it entirely, even with people who agree with me, like the people who are posting who are like happy that Biden won, which I guess whatever, we all agree with that sort of thing, but then they're like have very like
whatever.
No, they're like, they'll be like, there are all these terrible economic conditions that led to the election of Trump or whatever, and then they'll say something else completely different of like, which I agree with or whatever, and they'll be like, and it's also this other factor, and it's like, well, I don't even want to engage with you even though I agree with you, because even like taking even this minute part of an argument and like having a discussion about it in public is just going to look bad.
Yeah.
No matter what. And so I just don't do it at all anymore.
Yeah, because you're not even arguing, you're performing once again.
Right, yeah.
You know what?
Or, I mean, even if you try to be informative, like genuinely informative, it's like...
Yeah.
What if we made a challenge if there was a challenge between all of us, that every time we wanted to look at social media, we just did push-ups? You'd get so ripped so fast.
Yeah.
I think it would last like 2 days
Maybe.
maximum.
Well, not that every time that you want to do it, because your body is trained to do it. Like you're oftentimes ghost
Push-ups?
looking at your phone. No. Ghost looking at your phone. Yeah,
My body's trained to do push-ups, bro.
My body was trained to do push-ups, not anymore. And so like you're gonna have the desire constantly. I guess it's more just like when you actually go to pick it up, open it up, and do it.
Oh yeah, before you let yourself do it.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't want to do that many push-ups.
I'm fine with it. I'll do that many push-ups. Like it would actually force me not to do it.
I just think that what would happen is I would need to look at some point where it's not convenient to do push-ups within a day, and then I would be like, all right, fuck it. I need to use this right now. Stop playing games. I need to post this joke.
Yeah, I use it for writing, and that's about it. If something gets enough like clicks, likes, or whatever, I'm like, all right, maybe I'll try this later or whatever. Or, but for the most part, it's just that and bitching.
I have enjoyed watching a lot of comedians move home.
That's
been fun.
This is your soldiers coming home. It's comedians coming home to like relieved parents that are like, he's quit. We love you so much.
Yeah,
that makes me happy.
There was a you guys described, I think it was Boris, you described me in the group chat accurately as like Derek is the Hulk, but he only gets mad when he sees undeserving comics get shit on social media.
Succeed, yeah.
Yeah, it's or undeserving. I'm sorry, undeserving comics get shit, whatever. Because like that's the source of social media where you're like, I mean, you're seeing a lot of rich white girls or who are like have snarky Twitters, but not good live acts. Be like, they're booked on like every show and all this sort of stuff. I'm just like, this sucks. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, why do I care? They're out hustling. I should be out hustling. That's really the
and
problem.
everyone's got their mediums, and
yeah.
Twitter happens to be good if you can write the right kinds of Twitter jokes, and especially if you got a cute photo in your bio.
Yeah,
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
I look cute in my bio photo.
but it doesn't
I know.
translate.
It hasn't been helping me, but
But there are a lot of people who are great on Twitter who are also great live too. It's not to shit the entirety of Twitter in and of itself. There's some people apparently use it great. I just would like to be able to feel like I can still earn a living within the entertainment industry without me having to be on it constantly.
Yeah.
And because it does take away from your life. I used to read. I read constantly, but yet I read nothing at all. I have a ton of books at home that I haven't read. And my wife's like, "You don't read?" I'm like, "No, I spend all day reading." And it's true because I read news articles all day. I read
but a book's
posts.
different.
Like, a book's different. I don't read
commitment.
Right, exactly. And I just don't. I remember, I don't feel like as well-rounded or interesting a person.
Yeah.
Because all I'm doing is sitting at a desk reading fucking tweets all day.
I had a good habit when I was taking the subway more of reading on the subway, and then I didn't read for a while during the pandemic, and now I'm just starting to finally get back into some reading.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to start doing that. Well, I mean, once we can actually ride the subways with, some regularity.
Yeah.
So we have a shit ton of like paperback books in our house, and they just sit there, and I'm like, we need to either use these or
wipe
make a
our asses
campfire
with
them or something,
You know what's funny?
It's taking up space.
I've since we started talking, like, it's just how much this has a hold on like our brain. And I know like it's millions of dollars and hours of science behind this. All I've been thinking about this whole time is McDonald's. All I've been thinking about is a Big Mac.
I truly, we did, well, I don't think it was before it was before we started recording, we were talking about Big Macs. I will say, I don't think I've had McDonald's in at least a decade. I've had coffee from McDonald's.
Yeah.
Dude.
And actually, you know what? I'm going to take that back. I probably had it like once in the last decade, and I specifically remember however many years ago being like, oh, wow, I'm having a Big Mac again. And I honestly, at that point, enjoyed like the first third to maybe a half. And by the time I got on the second half of it, I was like, something's not right about this.
Yeah. I went one time, 9 years without having it, and I had it. It was the only thing like that was like available on the fucking highway. And it's like through my 20s, I did not. I saw Super Size Me in like 2001, whatever year that came out, and then I stopped eating fast food like pretty much altogether.
I took the wrong lesson from Super Size Me because they were like, we left this hamburger sitting out there for 30 days. I'm like, if I eat a 30-day-old hamburger, you best be sure it'll be McDonald's. Like,
Yeah. That's gonna be like, the hamburger's been in the fridge for a while. Great.
It's fine.
That's
yeah.
You extended
McDonald's.
its life.
It's fucking fine.
I did eat Chick-fil-A though recently. There's one in Pennsylvania.
Chick-fil-A is fucking good.
It's really good.
We had some on the road. We had like fucking Hardee's or something in August, and it's like it's disgusting. And you're just like, oh, I mean, like,
Hardee's.
I had McDonald's and like I got like sick. After I remember like all the sugar and like you take just fucking disgusting fucking shits, and it's like, but every now and again, like the desire for a fucking, because I used to eat it all the fucking time,
right?
Growing as a teenager and like growing up, and so then like even every now and again, like I want the taste of a quarter pounder, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I think about it, I'm like, nah, it's.
I definitely liked Wendy's more when I was younger and did eat fast food more. And then as far as shitty stuff, man, you guys were talking about sandwiches with stuff in them. I went to Rutgers, which had fat sandwiches.
Oh, yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
My Fat Moon, no ketchup on a pita was my go-to.
What the hell is that?
If I remember correctly, it was like eggs, French fries, mozzarella sticks, some sort of meat. I'm not sure if it was chicken fingers or it might have been like pork roll or something like that. No ketchup on a pita, and cheese or mozzarella sticks, but maybe some other cheese too.
That sounds awesome.
But everything was just a bunch of shit. And what's crazy, those took over Rutgers because there were all these like, you had the grease trucks, which were the actual trucks that were in a parking lot. I don't think they're there anymore even. And then you had like Jimmy's, which I think was owned by the same place. And then you had all these like little food places, right? You had like sort of bodegas throughout New Brunswick, and they all would have, because everybody wanted fat sandwiches. Everybody who was drunk wandering Rutgers at 2 a.m. And so slowly, every single one, there was a pizza place. Jimmy's was a pizza place. Jimmy's Pizza, they had fat sandwiches. And then like every other place throughout just like ended up, everybody would just come in drunk and ask for it, and they just knew they were losing money by not having it.
They had that shit in fucking, they have fast sandwiches in Europe.
What?
Yeah, German. Not in that sense, like not in the same exact like what that is, but just like
compared to the American, it's actually like our regular sandwich.
Now there was these fucking street burgers or whatever, and we were in fucking Germany, and they were just available everywhere because
street burgers.
Yeah.
Dude just takes them out of his jacket like Derek.
Jack cheeseburgers.
They're in a suitcase, and then like he had to shuffle them, and you had to guess which one it was under in order.
Which
to
one
get
has
it.
cheese?
When I was in Germany, all I ate was fucking doner kebab. Doner kebab like crazy, but that's
I ate
here.
A ton of brats.
That's here now. Like,
it's gyro. That's just gyro, right? They
it's
just called it
different.
doner.
It's like the seasoning's different, but there's like legit doner kebab places in New York now.
Word.
It's fucking shit. It was wild. Or currywurst.
Best pizza I've ever had in my life was in Germany.
Best pizza?
Best
Peas?
pizza.
Oh, pizza.
Yeah, pizza.
Weird.
Yeah, it had a raw egg in the middle. It was fucking ridiculous.
Ooh, I've seen that before. Yeah.
It was so fucking. They do that in Germany and France. I miss it. I'm trying to go back to Europe. Find my son.
Find your son. I think we support that. Everyone here at the Bushwick.
Oh
Bears.
fuck! I forgot I told that story already. Shit, that does have context to it. Damn it,
Derek's
Seth Simons, you'll get me.
Derek's illegitimate French son. We're gonna find him.
Love you, Pierre.
I just picture I picture someone that looks exactly like you, but with the beret and like a little mustache.
I have a fucking shitty mustache.
What? I need more wine.
I was just thinking, I'm like, would I rather start drinking again? Like, if I had to choose, like, a glass of wine or, like, a McDonald's meal, which one would I have? Because both are inherently unhealthy for me.
Yeah.
Well, I know a glass of wine is healthier.
Ish. Yeah, healthier
Yeah.
than McDonald's probably.
I would say so.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. But the being drunk part or the hangover would suck.
From one glass of wine?
Yeah, I haven't drank in 2 years.
Yeah, but I bet
No. I promise you. I know.
One
me.
glass
of wine
I
gives you a
promise you.
hangover?
One glass of red wine will give me a huge fucking hangover.
I'm
tomorrow.
probably gonna go
Wow.
to McDonald's after this, and I'm definitely gonna feel like shit.
You're
Yeah,
gonna have a hangover.
You're gonna have a
I
hangover.
am
Like
gonna
there's a
have a
there's a
hangover.
there's a hangover when you have that kind of food because McDonald's and that sort of stuff is so much sugar,
Yeah.
so much refined
And
fucking
salt.
sugar and salt. Yeah, but it's like super refined salt. It's not even like I put a lot of salt, like Malden salt, on my fucking steaks or whatever because it's like healthy.
You gotta have a little crust. I know how to
Right?
cook a
Yeah.
steak.
And also, it's not just manufactured horse shit that you're getting in. Fucking,
Right. I do get hangovers more easily now, but I've kind of seen some patterns to it where like I need to make sure I drink a bunch of water, and then I know if I have like 3 like margaritas or something sugary with
You're
cheap
fucked.
alcohol in it, I'm fucked. But if
Yeah.
I have like 2 Maker's Marks and I make sure to drink enough water or whatever, like Maker's Mark on the rocks or whatever, and I make sure to drink plenty of water, I'm usually okay
I have solved all of that.
by not drinking.
drinking.
Yeah, and that's not a brag. It's just like it's just a sigh of relief. Like it's like I had to go to my dentist is in Manhattan, on Madison Avenue, and I went. Fuck off! It's like the running theme of you guys like accusing me of being rich. Oh, I only own 1 home. Some owns 2. And so, anyways, so I was walking around Manhattan afterwards.
Wait,
just
I don't
talking on the
know
phone.
2. I have 1.
Oh yeah.
He rents this place.
Yeah. I
just
pay
has a
rent. I pay rent
vacation
here,
home.
bro.
He has a vacation home.
An investment property, if you will.
Yeah, you're actually the you have the most money because apparently you have enough throwaway on rent. Anyways, I was walking around Manhattan and there are all these like what normally would probably be kind of douchey filled or business like douchey business guy filled restaurants because it's near Grand Central and shit or it's in the 30s are empty, but they're like nice bars and whatnot. I'm like, man, I miss just going in and having a drink, talking to the bartender, writing and stuff
Right.
like that. And it's like
Just killing time somewhere.
it's not even killing. I'm actually more productive in that manner. I'll probably write in a notebook like 10 more minutes of stuff and sitting down and then I will sitting in front of 2 computer screens at my
For
home
sure.
computer.
Yeah.
And something about like just having like a little bit of wine and letting your guard down a little bit, letting your inhibitions down a little bit or whatever to express
Now we're
that.
getting French. A cigarette, perhaps?
Croissant. Yeah. Actually, I would just have a cigarello. Like one of those
Fromage.
little cigars.
Cheese for dessert. We get it.
I put my monocle in and make sure. You see my handwriting, too. My handwriting's beautiful.
You haven't showered in a few days.
That's the part of French shit I could never get over, which is also not entirely true.
That you can't get over it, or that they don't shower
That they
as
don't
often?
shower. They shower often enough.
As often enough is subjective.
Yeah, often enough. They also don't do labor. So, like they
Touche.
just, like they remain so like neutral through life that like they neither get overweight or underweight just by like varying degrees of how much bread they've had. Like
It's 1 cigarette per loaf of bread, and you maintain a healthy weight.
they actually have a healthier breakfast than Americans. They eat meat and cheese for breakfast.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And they don't have like the bread and stuff until like, or they don't even really do the bread big time. Like, I mean, you have a fucking baguette, but whatever.
I'd fuck a baguette right now. I'm getting hungry.
I like a good Paris baguette in the
Shit's
city.
delicious.
Good little. I like regional and local chains.
They're good for French toast, too.
Paris baguette
Or
is?
baguettes in general.
Oh.
I don't really know Paris baguette.
Paris baguette is like
Like a chain French place.
Yeah, in the city. I just miss the city.
Yeah, it sounds like a French place that would be in Penn Station.
Yeah. Trying to think of what the Penn Station French press would be called. They'd probably call it something dumb like Jean-Luc's. Like something that's like not even like a real French thing.
La Petite Prince. Oh wait, no, that's the Little Prince.
There is in Central Park, there's a bathroom sponsored by, what's that one French chain? La Quiton.
La Pen Quotidette or something.
Yeah,
Le
Le
Pon
in the ass.
Does anyone know how to pronounce these fucking French
Le
chains?
Pon
I didn't take
Yeah.
French.
Are they just fucking with us?
Let's ask my son. They have a bathroom
Hey,
in
DJ.
Central Park. Darik. Anyways.
I don't know. I think that's a pretty good podcast. Your daddy wants some McDonald's.
Yeah, I know. We've been talking about food. I gotta go see my wife.
Maybe we can record one of these over a meal one of these days.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I
Wouldn't
don't know
that-
that people would appreciate.
Wouldn't that be
listening
nice?
to,
Oh
like,
yeah, there is that.
us eating. Like, hold on a second. Let me tell this story.
This is great.
Yeah, but Anthony Bourdain did it.
Yeah, but that was okay. Yeah,
Ugly Delicious does it.
I think we can make it happen. We're gonna make a.
but we're not gonna have food that good. Plus, there's a visual. There's like a visual component to it.
Yeah, it's
We're just gonna have to
true.
get 2 cameras, one for the food, one for us.
We do like a cooking show, except it's just us going to fucking Chick-fil-A.
My biggest expense is
Yes.
food. How much money you spend a month on food?
A month? Not that much. I'm pretty thrifty, and I've been going to the store. I'd say I'd spend $200 to $500 a month on food.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
What about you?
Probably that much. Probably similar per person, Megan and I.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to
Yeah,
keep
I
it
got a
around.
real problem.
I try to keep it at about $50 to $70 a week.
Well, here's ours is probably especially when restaurants were closed, we were saving a ton of money on food because we go to Costco for starters, so we get shit in bulk.
Sure. Yeah.
And we we just cook a good amount. We buy groceries, and then once shit started opening up, we're like, well, we want to support the restaurants that are open in the area, so we probably got to eat like once a week or something.
Yeah, we get something like once a week. We'll get something delivered, usually like sushi or
Or
ramen
delivery.
something like that. And then we have gone out like twice, I think. But I spend so much money on fucking food. It's not my one vice, but it's like the biggest one.
Do you have
that
any
I
like
have.
particularly expensive luxury food items that you buy?
That's the thing. It's not even luxury. It's like part of its quantity. I've learned through this quarantine, though, especially the less active I've been as a person, to eat less. So I was at a point where I was eating like a shit ton of like stuff.
Yeah.
I thought I needed to because I was trying to get healthy or whatever. And it's like, I actually don't need to eat as much as I have been. I actually get by with eating a lot less. However, I just want to eat like farm-raised organic stuff.
yeah.
And that starts to get expensive.
I'm pretty good. I don't really care that much about farm-raised organic, but I will get organic milk and eggs because I feel like I can tell sometimes. But what I'm good at is, aside from when we do go out to eat, when I eat at home, like the primary things I eat, especially me specifically, as opposed to the two of us, like definitely a lot of omelets, which is all cheap. You know what I mean? It's just like
Right,
meat that's
yeah,
in
I
my
eat omelets
freezer,
for
cheese
breakfast.
and eggs. But then me personally, like my main snack is fucking canned sardines or smoked mussels or sprats or like something like that.
So fucking
Straight
Russian.
over a garbage
Yeah,
or
that's such
straight
a-
over the sink. I don't even do
Yeah,
dishes.
wow, I have like yeah.
And let me tell you
Oh,
something.
man,
in
that's
the
awesome.
in the 5 years we've been together, the whole time I will always offer for her to try some, and not once. And every time I'm like, "You showed these smoked mussels. You like mussels sometimes?" And they're all like a fucking like dollar between $1
Yeah,
and
right.
$3 a can.
Yeah,
And they're
yeah.
delicious, and it's all protein,
I'll
and
try
it's
this.
healthy.
I'll try the smoked mussels.
You-
I
you-
really will because like I'll just eat a steak.
Dude, especially like an ethnic grocery store, they have a whole wall of delicious canned fish and fish items, and it's like, I don't know how people come. It's healthy and it's affordable.
You eat like a Ukrainian immigrant.
Yeah.
I mean, in some ways, I definitely grew up on like sprats, a lot of anchovies and
I don't even know what
sprats.
sprats are.
It's like a little
Different
fish,
kind of
like
fish,
another
yeah.
type of fish. Usually comes canned in oil, but I'll get squid in their own ink, or squid in oil, or calamari, or whatever. They're all $1. It's crazy. It's crazy how healthy and affordable it is. And like I said, the one thing I've changed recently that Megan's got fed up, where I'll eat it over the sink and then I'll just toss the fucking thing in the recycling. Well, I've recently humbled myself to washing the can before putting it in the recycling because I get it. I guess it stinks up.
What about the canned Vienna sausages?
I did those in the Navy.
I didn't really.
You
I don't really
those?
fuck with those too much.
I did
no.
those in the Navy to like that was my snack when I was trying to lose weight. because carbs hit me so easy and so quick. Like I always have to go like keto or whatever to like get in good shape.
Keto?
Yeah, whatever. Whatever. We're all right. We're
That's
done
that's the
talking about
bougie pronunciation of. They call it keto on Madison Avenue now.
ketamine.
When I talk to my dentist about going keto, I know you thought somebody was giving you a diet plan, but they were just trying to get you to do ketamine. Have you thought about keto?
Well, that's what I'm doing for a diet. I'm doing ketamine.
I'm doing intermittent shitting. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
You eat whatever you want, but
My
you
problem
have to
is
shit every 2 hours.
my problem is I just get super baked and then I eat like an entire container of peanut butter.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like the flavored Burt's Bees shit. And it's like $8
Yeah,
a fucking
yeah, the
container.
expensive
And I'm
good
like,
ass
yeah.
peanut butter.
And I've already eaten like a $12 steak.
I eat a lot of peanut butter, but another one, peanut butter, only ingredients, peanuts, maybe peanuts and salt. I don't fuck with the peanut butter where they add a bunch of sugar and stuff. Otherwise, it's a great
Natural
snack
shit.
at night. A fucking big ass spoonful of peanut butter before you go to bed.
Yeah, I won't stop at just one. That's the problem. The problem is on my self-control.
Yeah, but
Same
it's a
as
good
social
food.
media.
I think at least it goes a long way just keeping your at home. Like I'll fuck around and get ice cream or whatever when I go out sometimes or desserts. But at home, I just make sure to only keep shit where I could just, even if I snack on it all day, worst case, it's mostly protein and maybe a little bit of fat. Keto, ever heard of it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hell
All right.
yeah. Bushwick
It's been
Bears.
a podcast that we were like,
The Fat
let's
Boy
wrap
diet.
it up, and then we did like another 10 minutes.
Hell yeah. We were
No,
talking about
we got a good length.
shit that I like to talk
Valuable
about.
Yeah.
advice.
Snacks.
We got to go to McDonald's.
I like to talk about snacks.
I am hungry now.
I am
Yeah.
too. Well, thanks, guys.
All
Bushwick Bears.
Bushwick Bears, everybody.
Hit us up on
Everything.
the reviews. Thank you.
Send
so
us
much,
to
thank
5 friends who can use advice on what fish to eat over a garbage can or sink.